Switching over the lighting for our male portrait requires only two minor adjustments. First, we'll lower the kicker light. That's going to give us a more masculine look to the light, and it's also a little more kind for our male subjects that are a little thinning in their hairline. We're also going to make sure that that kicker light is positioned so that we get a nice, hard highlight. Still plenty of detail in our subject's cheek, but we like to have that highlight be more pronounced. Take a look. Here is an example of a great-looking male kicker light. For our second adjustment, let's move the power fill light over to the same side as the main light. And a good tip is always, if you're going to move a light source, no matter how small, we only moved it about 8 inches here, always re-meter. Digital capture, as you know, is very picky about exposure values, so any chance you move a light source, it's always best to re-meter. We're going to stick to the same lighting ratios and camera settings for this portrait as we did for the female individual portrait. So our main light and our fill light are going to combine together to give us f8.0, and our kicker light is going to be placed at an exposure value of f5.6. So let's get all the lights firing to get a test shot and take a look at here. The highlights on our subject's forehead and nose are very pronounced. Are we overexposed? Not at all, just a little bit shiny. The male subject here has a shiny complexion that's emphasized by the narrow highlight recording ability from digital capture systems. This shininess is really very common with men photographed in a warm climate or later in the afternoon, or men that are a little bit stressed. Now when we compare this shiny portrait to the one we did of his wife, we see that there's a little bit of an issue there and we need to fix it. There's two easy ways to resolve this problem, and no, one of them is not fixing it in Photoshop. First, send your subject off to the men's room and have him pat down his face with a cool, moist towel. Make sure that the subject doesn't rub his face or scrub his face, because that'll make it more red and very undesirable. The second way to reduce shine is probably the best and easiest way, and that's with a little bit of shine reducing powder. Let me show you how we take care of it here at the Crockett Studios. We've built this nifty rolling makeup station mounted on a hefty wheeled light stand. This allows us to float it around the studio wherever we need it and just plug it in and it's ready to go. You'll see that it's got 3 light bars mounted onto it. All of these are controllable by dimmer switches. And we've also put on an outlet strip here. That allows us to plug in blow dryers and curling irons. You'll also see here we've got a mounted shelf that's kind of got a Formica finish to it, so it's really easy to clean. Some of the things you'll find on our makeup station are some eye makeup remover, a spritzer bottle with some distilled water in it, a little hairspray, some brushes, and here's the key to our shine reduction. We use a kind of foofy brand called Clinique. This was something that one of the hair and makeup artists turned us on to and showed us how easy it is to reduce shine. We're using their transparent number 3 powder and a fine makeup brush. Just a little dab of powder will go a long way in reducing shine. Also too, you'll notice on our makeup counter that we've got a jar of alcohol. That's 91% rubbing alcohol that we use to sanitize our brushes and our makeup brush after every use. One little safety tip though, 91% alcohol is incredibly flammable, so make sure you're not smoking when you're cleaning out your brushes. Applying a little shine reducing powder is fairly common with digital portrait work. In fact, when we have large groups of people to photograph, we'll actually hire in a hair and makeup artist to keep the day flowing right along. Let's see how effective this technique is with our example image. Here's our image without any powder, and here's the same shot with some powder. You'll see here we've dramatically increased our highlight detail.